I don't think it's any secret that I love riding logs. I've done plenty of videos up here at Cathkin to prove it. The only issue is living in Scotland, I can't ride them for 6 months of the year because they become too wet and slippery. However, for the last year or so, I have had an idea, something I can fit to my bike that might make riding these logs possible all year round. And that's fitting spike tyres. And I don't mean downhill mud tyres, I mean ice spike tyres. Because in my mind, nothing's going to grip these logs quite as well as literal metal spikes going into them. So I fitted some Schwalbe models and I'm back at my favourite log, which is definitely a lot more rotten than I've ever seen it. How low is that? Do you guys remember when that was up here? I honestly don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to ride these logs, but today I'm going to give it a try. I've literally not tried this idea at all. I've not even had a quick play before switching the camera on. I don't know whether this is actually going to work, but we'll soon find out. All right, here goes. Like I said, I have not tried this yet, and actually, it's not as slippery as that. Oh, no, that is slippery there. It's so scary riding logs in the wet, but let's see if this can help that. Ooh. Oh, I'll tell you what, I can't. Oh, I can wheel spin. All right, there is a limit. I know I've literally just jumped on the log, but first impressions, really impressive. Okay, I think I might be onto something here. Oh, maybe I need to get some spike shoes as well, because that's going to be sketchy if I have to put my feet down on things. Oh. It has also been a while since I've ridden a Hex. It's going to take some getting used to again. Yeah, this grip so far is pretty nuts. And yeah, you can tell I'm baby stepping into this. No shame. Whoa, did not think that was going to grip then. Oh, Jesus. I'm surprised my shoes are even gripping. Still got the issue that bark might actually come off. As if that gripped. That is so rotten. Well, that gripped way more than I thought it was gonna, considering I was nowhere near the top. I guess it has limits. That side up really took it out of me. I ended up messing it up because I got up it, but then I did a twisty pivot thing and messed up the landing, ended up putting my foot down, and I couldn't get the side up again. And we've got planes over here. So I've moved on to some new, well, actually not new, far from it, some really old logs. These things are practically falling apart. But yeah, let's move on and try and gap between these. But before I do, I kind of thought that spike tyres like this would be the ideal thing for comps. Say you're down south where you don't have as many rocks, or you're at a UCI comp or BIU comp, and there's one section that is particularly slippery and just makes use of logs like this, could you, for just that one section, have a spare set of wheels? You just swap them over, or if you're a big deal, a spare bike, and just not have to worry about grip on that one section. It's a lot of work for one section, and I was actually told that UCI don't allow studded spiked tyres, which is another reason why the UCI can get in the sea. But let's see if I can do this gap and some other shenanigans. Yeah, that bit's a bit rotten, isn't it? Does anyone recognize this fallen tree? It's the one I rode in my fat bike edit I did a few years ago, and it's had a few years to rot a little bit more, and today it is specifically very slippery. That's ice. I'm actually really nervous about riding this because it's not just the tires I have to worry about, it's actually if I want to stop and put my foot down, I just can't on this, and that's when you really do crash. So I'm gonna try it, but if I feel super sketchy, I'll just move on. But it'd be really cool to get to the top and then drop down. But we'll see if my nerves let me. Right, well, if I stay in the middle, it might be all right. Oh dear. Honestly, that is terrifying. It goes against everything I think that should feel like. Oh my God. Oh. It gets really narrow here. Oh. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That is absolutely disgusting. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh. I'm so glad my foot eventually gripped to that then. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing that. You know when you get that gut feeling that you really shouldn't be doing something? I've got that right now. And I won't tell you what I'm scared of happening, but let's just say I don't want to do this anymore. Let's go find something potentially equally as slippery, but maybe a little bit lower down. A little bit lower down. Found a pretty cool section here, a little bit lower to the ground, which suits me. Essentially, I want to get onto this first one, across these, and then there's quite a big gap up to that one there. And then, if I'm feeling brave, off the side of the camera is a gap from that one to another log. If I can do that, I'll turn the camera around to get it. But the first challenge is seeing if I can get this gap. Oh, that is big. Yeah, that's quite big. Tricky takeoff. Oh, come on. Oh, why is that? That is so big. Don't mind me while I try and adjust to the section. You definitely can't do this at comps. Well, that took it out of me. It's a slight adjustment, but hopefully that's all it needs for me to make this gap. Sometimes things don't always translate on camera. I really hope this looks as hard as that actually was. I'm having to aim literally a tyre width on this log here, and with it kind of falling apart. It's not the biggest gap in the world, but man, that was tech. The takeoff was pretty narrow as well, maybe 2 tyre widths I had to get on. That was a battle. And for some reason, I've got a slow puncture on my front tyre, so I had to kind of rush it in the end, but I'm so glad I managed to get all the angles that I wanted. I hope the tyre stays up long enough though. I've got a few more things I'd love to try, but if it goes down, I just don't have enough time, so that's gonna have to be the end. But I need a rest, then we'll see what my tyre says. Okay, so I do have a front puncture. I honestly have no idea how I've got that, but I do have that, which is really frustrating because there's loads more cool logs I'd love to ride, like this one behind me here, which I have ridden probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And there's just loads of logs which would be really cool to ride. So I will return to riding the spike tyres. As an experiment, it's been really interesting. They really, really do help for riding slippery logs, roots, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I want to do more of this because I love riding in the woods like this, and I hate that I can't do it for like 6 months of the year. So I will return to the spike tyres. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will be back next week. So yeah, see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.